Breaking tonight, the House Oversight Committee is ordering President Trump's Attorney General to answer questions about the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
Brett, good evening. This story just keeps continuing. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee demanding the Republican Attorney General sit for this deposition. House Oversight Chair James Comer sent the formal subpoena to AG Pam Bondi just hours ago.
5 Republicans just did something that should be all over the news right now. 5 members of the same party that has spent the last year running interference for Pam Bondi, giving her extra time, soft questions, standing ovations. 5 of them walked across the aisle and helped force her under oath. Not invited her, not requested her presence, forced her. And within hours of that subpoena landing, her office suddenly found an opening in her calendar. A briefing. Tomorrow. Private room, friendly crowd, no cameras, no sworn testimony, no consequences. Think about what that tells you. Now look at this letter. It comes from James Comer, chairman, Republican, the man who spent 2 years turning congressional oversight into a weapon against Democrats. His committee is now formally investigating the mismanagement of the Epstein case, the death inside a federal facility, the trafficking networks that somehow kept their client list out of the public record. And read this slowly, potential ethics violations involving elected officials. Elected officials. There is exactly one elected official who has haunted every corner of this investigation. You already know his name. Bondi has until April 14th, and Comer isn't asking her to bring what's convenient. He's telling her to bring everything, every record, every file, every correspondence that might be relevant, the full picture, the one she has been sitting on since the day she took office. She called it unnecessary. Let's be precise about who is calling it unnecessary. This is the woman who inherited 6 million documents and released less than half, who published the names and private details of victims while scrubbing the names of the men who paid for access to them, who sat across from a Fox News anchor and said on camera, on the record, that the client list existed and was on her desk. 4 months later, her office put out a memo, case closed, no list, never was. And she thinks the subpoena is the problem.
A spokesperson for Bondi firing back with a statement to Fox News, quote, "This subpoena is completely unnecessary. Lawmakers have been invited to view the unredacted files for themselves at the Department of Justice, and the Attorney General has always made herself available to speak directly with members of Congress."
And we don't have to speculate about any of this, because she told us herself. February 2025, Fox News. Her own words, her own voice. The list is sitting on my desk right now to review. Not allegedly, not according to sources. From her mouth, on camera, to the world.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Then July 2025, she puts out a memo. Case closed. No client list, no co-conspirators worth pursuing. Just Jeffrey Epstein alone by himself, somehow the only person in the entire operation who matters. And now she wants to tell Congress that a subpoena is completely unnecessary. The same Congress that passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a law she has been violating for 3 months running. Full release mandated by December 19th, 2025. Not a suggestion. Not a guideline, a law. That deadline is gone. The documents are not. We have half of what we were promised, maybe less. And the clock has been running for 90 days without a single consequence until 5 Republicans decided they'd had enough.
Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, that we redacted the victim's
Because you were following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. these two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree with
mentioned
you. I agree with you. During the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another
Can I
question.
answer your question about protecting
You
Prince
answered the
Andrew?
question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's a video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be released.
I got your answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please
the
stop the clock.
to
My time. Stop
sign
the clock.
the legislation.
Time.
This is
Time.
this
I'd like
is
to
Time
take
ridiculous.
my
belongs,
time.
time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
You just watched her sit in front of Congress and declare there is no evidence Donald Trump committed a crime. And Ted Lieu put a witness statement on the table, right in front of her face. A witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. A witness who was never interviewed by Bondi's DOJ. Never contacted, never followed up on. Because following that witness means going somewhere Pam Bondi has spent an entire year making sure no one goes. But here is what makes today different from every hearing that came before it. Different from every letter, every demand, every strongly worded statement that dissolved into nothing. James Comer, the Republican who issued that subpoena, just went on television and said that Trump's own DOJ told New Mexico investigators to stand down, to stop searching Epstein's ranch in 2019. A ranch that has never been properly searched. A ranch where, for all we know, there are victims buried on the property. And the man saying that out loud on national television is the same man who just put Pam Bondi under subpoena. France opened a criminal investigation from these files. Britain stripped Prince Andrew of his title. The UAE is taking action. Pam Bondi closed the case. April 14th, she walks into that room, no cameras, no friendly faces, no talking points to hide behind. Just questions. She has been out running for over a year and a perjury charge waiting for anyone who decides to keep running. She said the list was on her desk. Then there was no list. Then there was no case. On April 14th, there will be no exit. Drop a comment. Tell me one thing. Do you think she actually shows up?